My name is David Van Zandt. I'm the president here of the New School, of which Parsons is our largest and wonderful part. I just want to welcome all of you to today. I'm actually spending the day attending a conference on the new economy over in Kellen Auditorium, which is in the main Parsons building. But I think that's a good reflection of the kind of place you're coming to if you come here to Parsons and to the New School. What we're really about is how is design impacting the world, and design from all sorts of angles and all sorts of types of design going on, whether it's objects we're designing or environments or even societies. That's very important, and that's very important to the New School. So this is a place where you can really learn that also within your own area and push that forward. So there's tremendous resources here you can take advantage of. So again, we hope we all see all of you here in the fall. I'm sure that it's a great day planned for you to introduce you to Parsons and to the master's programs here. So let me turn it over to Robert. Come on up. Welcome and have a good day.
Thank you, David. Good morning. Welcome to the Parsons New School for Design Graduate Admitted Student Day. My name is Robert MacDonald, and you may recognize the name as I had the privilege of reading your personal statements and also signing your admissions letters. Any of you who want me to decipher my handwriting on your letters, please let me know. The sisters at St. John's are rolling in their graves right now. Congratulations. I do have a few stats I'd like to share with you. 69% of you are female. 26 is the average age. 80% of the states of the United States are represented, 40, with the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico. 8 Fulbrights. 48% of the admitted class is international, representing 100 countries. As part of your Parsons education, it will not be solitary. So, please stand up. Take a moment and introduce yourself to your classmates. Okay, the minute is up. You can. Thank you. Okay. Well, now that we know each other, let's get on with the day. Our greatest resource here at the New School and Parsons in particular is our outstanding faculty and leadership. I have the honor to introduce our leader, the Executive Dean of Parsons, the New School for Design, Joel Towers. Joel received his Bachelor of Science in Architecture from the University of Michigan School of Architecture, a Master's of Architecture from Columbia University, where he also served as a member of the faculty. His focus on ecological issues and their relationship to both design conceptualization and construction methodology underlies his theoretical research, his teaching, and the academic leadership positions he's held here at the New School. Joel's also the co-founder of the architecture firm SR&T. The T is for Towers. Please welcome our Executive Dean, Joel Towers.
Well, I don't get to be an architect all that often these days, actually. This is a test to see if you can read backwards. So thanks, Robert. And David just had to run out. He was delaying the other conference for his comments there, but he did want to say welcome to you, as do I. I'm going to be brief because if the few seconds before where you got a chance to talk to each other is any indication, you want to talk to each other more than listen to what I have to say. And also, I really want to give you a chance to meet with the faculty, because Robert is absolutely right. We have an outstanding faculty at Parsons and across the New School. And it's, in fact, the relationship between you, the faculty, and this particular place that makes it so unique. And I'll say a few words about the place, New York City, obviously, the place, the New School, Parsons, and a little bit about that big construction project called the University Center that you undoubtedly saw coming in here today, or if you live in the neighborhood, have been watching rise very slowly, although more quickly in the last 6 to 8 months. So let me just say a few words to you in introduction about why art and design now, and why art and design here. This is all really what I wanted to focus on, and then let you get on with the day. The why art and design now is in many ways a pretty interesting and also easy answer. Creativity, innovation, complexity, these are the terms that define our current culture and are in dire need. A visual culture, a data culture, and a material culture have combined to form a socio-ecological context in dire need of art and design. There has rarely been a time historically in which the particular capacities and the vision of artists and designers is more in need, and I think it is a very important historical moment in the history of art and design. And so you come here at a very particular point in time. Why here, then, is the question, and I think David alluded to it, and I will say a little bit more about it. The intersection here, the crossings, the crossroads, if you will, between design and social research constitute a very unique set of opportunities in higher learning. The New School, of which we are a part, is unusual in many ways, and I would argue unique in its constellation of a large, globally known and leading art and design school in Parsons, combined with the other 6 divisions of the university in the social sciences and the liberal arts, in performance, in policy, and urban management and international affairs. This particular combination does not really exist in the particular size and relationship that it does here at the New School in any other place in the United States. We might even be unique in the world, but we certainly are in the US. And it's particularly the approach that we are able to bring to this crossroads, to this crossing, to the intersections that are so much about the time in which we live. Intersections in which disciplinary strength has never been more important and less sufficient. It's never been more important, and it's never been less sufficient to the challenges that we face today. In other words, you need to learn deeply in the areas in which you are studying, and you need to not be contained or constrained by those areas in order to address the kinds of questions and challenges that we face today. And if you think about Parsons and how we have organized this school, and just even the names of the schools, art, media, and technology, the intersection among those, the School of Constructed Environments, and the intersections associated with that school, School of Design Strategies, art and design history and theory together. Even in our School of Fashion, those of you who are here for the master's program today are here for a master's program in fashion design and society. The crossing defines so much of what we are today and so much of what is unique about the New School. And that's precisely what I mean about disciplinary strength being deeply important and not sufficient to the challenge. You will need to work across boundaries. You will need to find colleagues here. You will be in, some of you will be in programs explicitly designed to be boundary crossing. But even those who are in more traditionally defined disciplinary areas will be stretching and broadening and working in collaboration. And that is at the core of innovation and creativity in a complex world. That's why here, and that's why now. So let me just say a few words, first of all, to add an invitation to your many invitations from us to be here. Our festival begins, Parsons Festival 2013 begins May 5th. And you will undoubtedly be given lots of information and about all of these events. Please come to all the events if you can, or some of them. There are some 40 different events over a span of a few weeks. It does coincide with New York City's first design festival as well, which we have participated in bringing into being here at Parsons. But our festival is the place at the end of the year where we exhibit not just all the work, but we also open our doors to the kind of learning activities that are going on here at the school. And so please do come. You will see things that range from installations like, for example, this one from MFA DT. You'll be able to go to offsite. Offsite meaning the rest of New York City. It's not really clear necessarily the distinction between the New School and New York City. We sort of combine, but here offsite, like the MFA Fine Arts show at the Kitchen. Temporary installations. This was, again, I'm showing you last year's work because it hasn't been completed yet for this year. Temporary installations like this one from the MFA Interior Design that was at the International Contemporary Furniture Fair. The MFA Fashion Design and Society. This was a show in the Li and Feng space, one of the floors in the Li and Feng space in the Fashion District that they gave over the whole floor to us of one of their buildings, which they will be doing again this year. Runway shows at Milk Studio. This was from Fashion Week in September. Symposia. Whoops, that's what our symposia look like. I lost my slide for symposia. Okay, well, you can think about them. This is very recent because this will also give you an idea about some of the other things going on. This was a project that we did in collaboration with the Joffrey Ballet, with students from the School of Jazz and Contemporary Music here at the New School and the School of Fashion in combination with Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. And then this was from an exhibition most recently. The symposium slide is coming up because I can see one ahead of you. This is on the, an exhibition on the feminine mystique, and this was from one of the symposia at the end of the year. And of course, we do lots of different urban interventions. I just showed you one here, but there's a lot of activity over those few weeks. So come to the festival. It's an important period of time. Lastly, I just wanted to say a couple words about space. I really like this slide because it's really hard to know where the New School is in this one, right? It's sort of like, is it really? Where's the New School? But in fact, this building, that one that you saw there, is one of the many buildings that constitute the New School. This is the List Center, and here is where, on the 12th floor, what we affectionately call D12, is one of the most interesting spaces, and a lot of you will be visiting that space today. This is really a kind of graduate hub for the university in a lot of ways, with social science, and increasingly in the next year or two, we'll be having also media and Milano and GPI graduate program in international affairs there. This, of course, I mentioned to you earlier, it already looks different from this. I think this is a photograph from last week, but the scaffolding is coming down now. We are here in the Joseph Urban building, which was the first building built by the university for its own purposes. 25 East, though this is actually shown from the 14th Street side. I like this one because you can see its relationship to the new University Center down the block. And of course, the Sheila Johnson Design Center, which is at the corner of 13th Street and 5th Avenue, where we have our kind of hub for Parsons. All of which is to say that New School, and that's just the Parsons pieces, right? There's the New School, and I like this diagram because you can get a sense that we actually do have a presence in the city. These are the collection of buildings just in this area. And they represent, and are represented here in this map, and there is a kind of method to this madness, which is that if you look at the buildings here on this campus, we have thought about this Greenwich Village campus as a place where we are able to intersect at the crossroads of 13th Street, both the University Center, the new building that is going up, with a whole set of student services and a kind of technical resources corridor on 13th Street. And as I said before, a kind of graduate center focused toward the LIST building, but the truth is that all of these spaces are part of your experience as graduate students here at New School. And this building, which you will be the first class to enter into, will be, I think, a big part of that. This summer, the dormitories open, and in January, for the beginning of the spring term, we will be in this building, which I'm very excited about. It will have all sorts of resources available to you, including the new university library, an auditorium that will hold up to 800 people in it, as well as several smaller auditoria in the 150 to 200 range. Perhaps most interesting about the building, or one of the most interesting factors, is the way in which it is designed to enable a kind of vertical campus. And so there are a lot of spaces in the building that are not about studios or classrooms, but are really about gathering. And are resourced with furniture and technology to enable you to, if you will, own those spaces, to organize them yourselves, to meet in them in the same way that you would meet in the quad of a normal horizontally organized campus. But in this case, we have a vertically organized campus, and the stairs in this building are quite extraordinary. That's what you see, by the way, on the outside, where the glass is reflective of this same circulation pattern that was just mapped up here. It's one of the most environmentally advanced buildings of its kind. It is, of course, LEED certified, but that's not really what makes it so interesting. It's actually the social design of the building that will make it, I think, successful in this context. It does have a green roof. And so that brings me back to where I began, and I will end in a moment, which is why now? And why here? And I wanted to just talk for just a second about a few numbers. And here, Chris Jordan is to be credited with this work. But a few numbers: 200 million, 5 minutes, and 1 country. This Chris Jordan project here represents images of what 2 million plastic bottles look like, which is the total amount of plastic bottles used in 5 minutes in this one country. There's never been a more important time for design to figure out how we change the way we relate to our physical, our natural, our technological, and our data landscapes. This is what you will do here, and I am very much looking forward to working with you in that pursuit, and I welcome you to Parsons, and I have the great pleasure now of turning it over to Courtney Malenius, who will tell you a little bit more about what we're going to do for the day and give you a chance to begin talking with each other, with your faculty, and exploring this particular space and place at the New School and at Parsons. So welcome, everybody. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Joel, for that very warm welcome. And before I provide you with the exit instructions today, I just want to say that it's been a pleasure to meet so many familiar faces. Some students, of course, I've been corresponding with via email. Others of you I met back in the fall when you were just starting to explore Parsons. I even recognized a few faces that came to our graduate portfolio day back in October and may have been stranded here thanks to Hurricane Sandy. So it's just a real pleasure to see you all now at Admitted Students Day, and we couldn't be happier for you that it's really come full circle. Again, I'm going to be giving you some exit instructions in just a couple of minutes so that you can meet with the other students who've been admitted to your programs and, of course, pick the brains of the faculty members who are here to really share all of their wisdom and advice with you. So that is my bit of advice, is to use today to get all of your questions answered. There will also be a luncheon served later in the day in our Teresa Lang Auditorium in the 55 West 13th Street building. And just so you're aware, the program that you received on the way in today has a map of the campus on the back, just in case you get lost at any point. You'll be able to find where you need to go. But during the luncheon, there will be representatives from the Office of Financial Aid, International Student Services, in case we have a few international students with questions about student visas. We'll have a student from our Grad Connect NING network available to answer questions, as well as admission staff members. So please seek us out if you have questions about paying your deposit or anything like that. So the sort of next steps. Robert MacDonald will be there to translate his notes on your acceptance letters, so be sure to seek him out with his mustache to get that translated. But all kidding aside, we really do want to answer your questions today and make sure that you feel confident leaving here today knowing that Parsons is the best place for your graduate education. And again, if you have any questions about further steps or what to do next, we'll be there to answer them.